Hello, bonjour. I want to welcome you here. My name is Denise Willerton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in East St. Paul, Manitoba, Canada. If you don't have a current demonstrator that you're working with, I would be honored to help you with your creativity needs. And I want to welcome you to the April tutorial bundle. So thank you for taking part in this. These are wonderful. So we are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators from around the world, and every month we gather our tutorials. Some of us do videos, some don't, and we just compile this for you for your enjoyment and your creativity needs. Let's get on to why you are here today. So here is the card, and this is called a hidden flap. And so I will be referring to my cheat notes because look at this fantastic card. Isn't that so fun? So I can't wait to show you how I've done that. Now with my kit, and you've got all of your measurements down below or in the tutorial that is part of this, what I went ahead and did was I mounted all of my design papers onto my cardstock. So it's pretty easy to tell which, let me get in view here, which design papers go with the coordinating cardstock. And there's two of those and one of those, okay? So I just went ahead and did that just so that we could get through the tutorial easier. And I also mounted my sentiment. So I used the layering circles and I used the largest scallop and then the largest circle. I'll stamp that with you using my Stamparatus. But for now, let's set all of that aside. We're going to grab our card base. So that is your largest of the basic white cardstock, and that measures 10 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, we're going to score at 4 1/4, which is basically your halfway mark to a basic A2 card base. We're going to score that on my score blade. I don't know if you can see that. See how I've got it marked score, or you could just put an S. And then what I did was I used a Sharpie for that, and then I used clear nail polish, and I let that set overnight. This way, I've got one of my blades clearly marked that that's my score. The other one I know is my cut. So we're going to score at 4 1/4, and then we're going to score at 8 1/2. Okay. Make sure that you're nice and butted up against that edge, and then we're going to give that a really good burnish. We're going to need our scoreboard again, or our paper trimmer. So give that a burnish. There's the beginning of your card base. See that? And so now this is going to fit right into an A2 card base. And actually, you know what? Oh no, we're good. We're good. So there you go. There's your A2 card base. And now we're going to take that other basic white, and this measures 7 1/2 by 4 1/2. Sorry. Had to find my placement. We're going to score this at 3 inches. So again, make sure you're nice and tight. We're going to score at 3 1/2. And this fabulous card I found on Jan B's YouTube channel. And then we're going to score at 4 inches. We're going to open up our arm, and we're going to score again at 7 inches. So then we have just this little edge here, okay? That is it for scoring. Okay, we're just going to burnish all of these. and it is going to look odd. You are also going to need your tear and tape. I want to make sure that I'm nice and straight. You know how sometimes you're just, it just seems a little bit crooked with your scoring? You can straighten that up before you burnish, okay? So this is what you have, kind of an odd looking thing. We're going to fold that in like so, okay? So we kind of have this odd kind of shape, okay? Let's start building our card. We're going to take this panel and put that right on the front. So let's grab our silicone mat. I should have read over my instructions again before I started, just to kind of clarify my mind. So you may see me pause and look over a bit, okay? So this here is going to be our, what I call the panel mechanism, okay? So we're going to adhere our panels as desired, okay? So depending on how you want this to look, I wanted DSP on the front, and then when I opened it up, you can have the DSP here or here. It's entirely up to you. This is where you would write your sentiment. There's no right or wrong as to how you would do that, okay? We're going to place tear and tape in this little crooked area, okay? And I wanted to score that to show you exactly where I want the tear and tape. So with the burnished marks, it kind of shows up a little bit more. So I am not going over my score mark. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm going right to it. And this is how I like to do my tear and tape. So this one is right along this top edge, and this one here is going to go right along the center score line. The reason why we're doing that is when I remove my score tape, this top portion here, where's my take your pick? This top portion here is going to adhere to this area where there's nothing, and this top portion here is going to adhere there where there's nothing, okay? If that makes any sense. Let's remove that backing like so, and let's just fold this over onto itself, okay? So there you go. We have created our folding mechanism. Now we want to decide where we want our panels, okay? This lip is going to go this way. Where am I? I am going this way. Okay, here we go. So this is how it's going to look. You want this going that way. We're going to adhere this here to our card base, and this little guy here is going to stick out there, and that's what is actually tucked in under here. Can you see that? See how this portion here is what's going to get tucked in under there. Let's put our design paper on the inside of our card, and then we can start building our mechanism, okay? Grab your adhesive of choice. There's no right or wrong here. Although for some of this, you do want your tear and tape. This is just Tombow in this little bottle. So this one is going to go down like so. This one here, I really appreciate you coming and joining in on the fun. I usually do YouTube lives on Thursdays, and so when I do the videos for the tutorial bundle, I feel like I'm really alone, because I am, and I don't really have anyone to chat with. But during my lives, I like to have conversations. Okay, so that's going to go down like that. Now we're going to put a little bit of tear and tape along here. I want to make sure that I'm in the camera. And we're going to put, and I don't want to go over that score line, okay? So I am going to go fairly close to it. And because this is a moving part, I want to make sure that I've got good adhesion. So then I'm going to do a second row right close, okay? Now we're going to remove that backing. And if you have a hard time removing your backing, it's probably because it's not, whoops, well burnished. So let's get a good burnish going on that. Let's pick that up on that side. And this, now because these are overlapped a little bit, see how this is lifting? Can you see that? I guess you can. I'm not going to worry about that for now, because what I'm going to do is I am just going to let that fall down naturally. Now I want this part, there's my score, I want that to my right, and I want this, my adhesive is on this side, I want that tucked in, okay? So I want to place that right on the first portion of my card. So you can go down like so. And I'm just eyeballing center, okay? So that looks really good. Now that this is down, you can decide where you want this design paper. I for sure want, and if your design paper is directional, here's where you really want to pay attention, okay? So I'm going to put that one down here, and I can decide to put that one here if I want, and do my writing on this side or this way. There's no right or wrong, it's your card. But I really do like what I did with my first one, so I'm going to just follow suit. So get your adhesive, Tombow or your tear and tape or your Stampin' Seal or plus, and you're just going to eyeball center, and we're going to do the same with this one. Like so. And again, if this is directional, make sure you are going the right way. And now you can really see how this is part of the mechanics of the card. Now what we want to do is, and if you are going to use tear and tape for this portion, or if you are going to use liquid glue or Tombow, be very careful that it doesn't fall into this flap, okay? That is very important. Otherwise, your card will not work. We're going to apply, I'm staying away from my score line. We're going to apply tear and tape, and I want to use tear and tape because it has really good hold, okay? So I want a strip of tear and tape at the top as well as at the bottom. I'm staying away from the score line. Give those a really good burnish. Remove. Remove. And you are just going to fold that down onto itself and give that a really good burnish. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Now when the card first comes, when you start working it, see how it's getting hung up? After a while, it won't get hung up as much. Okay? There's your mechanism. Okay? You want to make sure that everything is well burnished. This is our last design paper panel, our DPP. So currently, I do my Facebook Lives on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. But you know what? There is a group of ladies that gather every Thursday morning for a little Bible study and just connection and all of that good stuff. And I think I want to join that team. So I am going to be changing my Thursday lives to 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. Okay, I just want to give that adhesive a really good burnish. I want to make sure that that is well burnished. And if I open up that panel, here's where I'm going to put my sentiment. Don't you love this card? What a wonderful way to use up some of our beautiful, beautiful design paper. Okay, so thank you to Jan B for this. It's getting hung up for a bit, and then once you open it and close it a few times, it doesn't get hung up as often. See how this one just freely moves. Okay, let's grab this and our Stamparatus, my tool of choice. I think if I had to choose one tool that I could not live without, I think it would be my Stamparatus. Just because it is so, so forgiving. We're going to use Calypso Coral, and I am going to use the gift boxes from Warm Welcome. Such a sweet set. If I can get it. There we go. So we're going to do Warm Welcome, and I want that over to the left side. And then I'm going to grab Happy Birthday. Now, for my prototype, I've got For a Very Happy Birthday. This was actually a Stampin' a celebration item that is no longer available. So I did not want to feature that, but I wanted to let you know. We're going to grab Happy Birthday from Pansy Patch, and it is right there. Now, because I've got my gift there already, I want to make sure that I am straight. And you know what? It looks pretty good. Let's pick that up. Yeah, it looks nice and straight. We're going to grab Calypso Coral. I do use my blocks, but I tend to use my Stamparatus the most. For me, there is less possibility for error or poor stamping if I have to possibly go down and stamp a second time. Now, if you're ever worried when you're using photopolymer, because you know how they seem to be really sticky. And if we want to make sure without this moving, all you need to do is stick your bone folder in, and I kind of press down, which is also holding it here as well as my magnet. And I know for certain that this did not move if I do need to go down and stamp a second time, but everything looks wonderful, so I don't need to. But there's another little tip for you. And now everything is nice and straight. We will clean that off in a moment. We're going to put dimensionals behind here. We're going to grab some big guys. And I like to always put one in the middle. When I have a larger panel, I always like to have a dimensional in the middle, whether it's a rectangle or a square, because I don't want I don't want my sentiment or my image to kind of cave in on me. And you know what? Let's just grab some minis to fill in our clock, like so. We'll remove that backing and we'll put that on our card front. Just getting all these backings removed and into the trash bin. And now I want to make sure that I am nice and straight following this line. We're going to pop that down right there. Let's get some rhinestones, some beautiful champagne rhinestones. And I like to work in threes, kind of the rule of threes, like so. And we're done. That's it. Easy peasy. So this is called a hidden flap, okay? A hidden flap card. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and please come and join me on my YouTube channel, and I would be honored if you would actually subscribe to my channel. If you never want to miss when I go live, just hit the little bell and you'll be notified whenever I post a new video or whenever I do go live. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the other tutorials and the other bundles. And thank you. Bye-bye.